On a Tuesday morning in October, detectives with the Major Crimes Unit were assigned a routine missing persons report. A woman in her late 30s hadn't shown up for work for 2 days. No history of running away, no psychiatric holds, just gone. These cases are usually sad, but simple. A voluntary disappearance, a family dispute, or tragically, a suicide. But this one started like all the others and ended like nothing they had ever seen. This is the story of what they found when they stopped looking for the woman and started looking at the house.
The missing woman was Sarah Meeks, 38, a high school biology teacher, described by colleagues as meticulous, punctual, and private. Divorced, lived alone in a modest 3-bedroom ranch on Cedar Lane. Detectives Lucas and Chen arrived at 9:14 a.m. No forced entry, her car was in the driveway, purse on the kitchen counter, phone on the nightstand, fully charged. Last outgoing text, "See you tomorrow," sent 2 days prior. By the book, they treated it as a wellness check turned potential crime scene. They canvassed neighbors, no screams, no fights, just silence. The first oddity came from the basement. Sarah's brother mentioned she was afraid of the basement, never used it. But the lock on the basement door was new, industrial, installed within the last month. Detective Chen later said, "You don't install a padlock on a door you never open. You install it on a door you don't want anyone else to open." They cut the lock. The stairs were clean. Too clean. The concrete floor had been recently mopped, but crime scene technicians found trace evidence. A single boot print facing the wrong direction, towards the wall. Behind a false panel in the cinder block wall, they found a crawl space. Inside, a sleeping bag, a child's sneaker, and a small notebook.
The notebook was not Sarah's. It belonged to a child, but Sarah had no children. And the drawings changed everything. Page 1, a stick figure woman smiling. Page 10, the same woman with lines around her wrists. Page 15, a second figure, taller, wearing what looked like a badge, standing over her. Detectives ran the boot print. It matched a work boot issued to a local security company. One of their employees had done a routine alarm inspection at Sarah's house 3 weeks prior. His name? Dale Fremont. No record. Married, father of 2. But here's where the case breaks reality. Dale Fremont had never met Sarah Meeks. Their paths never crossed. Except her basement had a hidden camera, and Dale's basement had a hidden room. When they executed a search warrant on Dale Fremont's home, they didn't find Sarah. They found a 9-year-old girl, alive, emaciated, silent. She had been missing for 14 months from a town 3 hours away. Case closed by local police as a runaway. That girl, we'll call her Jenna, had been drawing warnings. The notebook in Sarah's basement was her attempt to escape. Dale had moved her between crawl spaces of homes he was paid to inspect. The boot print? Jenna had kicked the wall on purpose. Sarah Meeks was found 3 days later in a shallow grave behind Dale's second property. She had discovered Jenna by accident, and she paid with her life. Dale Fremont pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated kidnapping. He is serving life without parole. Jenna was adopted by a foster family and is receiving ongoing therapy. She is now 12. She still draws. The case changed department protocol.
Every missing person report now triggers a cross-check with local security company work orders. One detective called it the basement rule. Because sometimes a routine investigation isn't routine at all. Sometimes it's a child screaming for help through crayon drawings hidden behind a false wall. And if you listen closely, the worst cases are never solved by evidence. They're solved by the smallest, quietest details the killer assumed no one would ever find. This is true crime. Not for entertainment, for awareness.